Hello, my friends. My name is Ina, and I go by screen name Miss Sunshine. I wanted to share a story with you of my progress through my treatment of rheumatoid arthritis. I've been diagnosed, and since over the last year or year and a half, I was able to drastically reduce my symptoms of pain. So for those who don't know, rheumatoid arthritis is a fairly severe condition because it's an autoimmunity disease. Autoimmunity is basically body attacking itself depending on where it's at. If it's a thyroid function, then it would be a thyroid autoimmunity. If it's your joints, then that would be the rheumatoid arthritis, etc. There are several of them. Lupus would be one of the autoimmunity conditions. So since being diagnosed and suffering from very severe pains, actually the diagnosis itself was quite a challenging process because I wasn't diagnosed right away. That was actually a story on its own. I was able to drastically reduce my symptoms. In fact, now I'm completely symptom-free, and my RA factor is being reduced quite significantly to the point that I feel that if I progress on my path, I will be able to absolutely reduce it to normal levels and not experience any symptoms, which I currently don't already, which is actually quite miraculous because autoimmune conditions are considered to be not treatable. You can manage the symptoms, but according to current medicine, you can't really completely cure the autoimmune condition. Before I shared my story with you, I wanted to tell you that I am not a medical professional. Please consult with your doctor or with your medical practitioner in terms of, your specific treatment plans. So basically this video is for entertainment purposes only. My hope is to share my story with you, to document my journey, as well as potentially help some of you, to guide you on your way to healing. So again, please, I am not a doctor, so consult with your doctor, please. So basically, I wanted to, again, my goal is to try to help anyone or someone to go through this healing process and potentially get diagnosed correctly. The reason why I'm doing that is because I believe that there could be others that feel dissatisfied with the doctor's verdict of this is your condition, and basically you now have a treatment plan for the rest of your life and there is really no cure for it, and you're just kind of stuck here and you are stuck taking drugs for the rest of your life and potentially progressing more and more to more and more drugs that you will be taking continuously. So I wasn't very satisfied with this type of a decision, so I have decided to take matters in my own hands, and I was doing a lot of research. I was reading many different books, some of them specific to rheumatoid arthritis, some of them more towards just general health and factors that affect our well-being and our health. So I wanted to share that with you, and potentially if you also are a little frustrated with ability to get to healing, maybe my message can help you, and that's really ultimately my goal. So without further ado, I just wanted to also level set with you about the current state of the medical treatment system that we find ourselves in. Me personally, again, first I had a difficult time getting diagnosed because the tests are just not very satisfactory that go through our approved insurance medical testing that we are eligible for. And on top of it, basically the way that the doctors approach it in current medical system is they will see you, they will hopefully diagnose you correctly the first time or the second or the third time, but ultimately will properly diagnose you. And then that's basically the end of the story. Okay, now you are labeled with a certain condition, you have a condition, and then they are they whip out a prescription pad and they give you your drugs options, and they say, okay, this has this side effects, this one has those side effects, but you are basically now on this plan of continuously medicating yourself for the rest of your life. And this again lead to side effects, right? And you are not really curing the source or removing the source of the issue, and that leads to 20, 50 drugs by the end of someone's life, especially if they're aging and they are accumulating those different conditions now, one leading to the other, basically. So I personally found that dissatisfactory. I do believe that the symptoms and the pain that are associated with our conditions are signals of the body that are indicating that there's some breakdown in the processes, or that something is malfunctioning, or something is not working properly, that really what needs to be addressed, whereas that's not what the medication is doing. Medication is basically helping you to manage your symptoms. In my mind, it's a little bit like you have a fire alarm going off and you say, okay, there's a fire alarm going off, I'm going to remove the battery. Oh, okay, great, there is no more fire alarm. Well, no, that's not great. You still have a problem. Your house is going to burn down, okay? Just because you don't have the sound of the fire alarm, that doesn't mean that you've solved the problem. And I found it dissatisfactory that even an extremely experienced rheumatologist that I went to not only didn't really have any explanation or any satisfactory answers for me as to how I can actually address the cause or the underlying reason why am I here, why do I have rheumatoid arthritis at an earlier age. And supposedly living a healthy lifestyle from what I thought, but she's just basically offering me drugs to help me manage those symptoms. On top of it, she wasn't able to tell me how I got here and what could be causing it. In fact, when I asked her, how did I end up with rheumatoid arthritis, her answer was, if I could tell you that, I would be a Nobel Prize winner. So I thought, okay, so let me try to do my own research and try to find answers on my own. And there are actually several things that could be causing or masking itself potentially as rheumatoid arthritis, or could be causing it. And so I've went through certain steps to decide which ones of those could potentially be my issue. Because in my mind, if I eliminate those causative factors, I could then come to a state where I don't have the condition anymore, because there are no more factors that are leading to it. So I hope that these stories that I will create will help someone to lead them on this path of discovery and of learning. There are definitely tons of sources that you could use to try to pinpoint your own condition and what led to it. What additionally I would say is there are different kind of doctors that are out there that could also be very helpful. They're called functional medicine doctors. And if you can afford one, they're very great, because they basically study your specific health history, and they spend time with you to evaluate your condition as given your lifestyle and your health history, your family's health history. And they also perform relevant tests that can tell them what could be in your specific case causing you to end up with it. Basically, if you go back to the beginning and you eliminate that, the result logically should be that you now no longer have that condition. Now, that again is not being done currently. Like I said, it's basically label it, prescribe it, and treat it with long-term medication. Some of it, and I can tell you countless stories of people not even being tested for something that could potentially be triggering symptoms and then a condition. One of those was a person who wasn't ever tested for iron, and they were trying to put this person on epileptic drugs, which are effective about 40% of the time and have tons of side effects. Some of them are deadly. So this person was not very happy with this kind of decision, and they did their own research. Sure enough, they went to go test for iron. They had very low iron levels, and when they started doing iron injections, supplementing with iron and eating iron-rich foods, the symptoms and the condition itself completely disappeared. So the testing is not necessarily performed that is relevant to certain conditions. And basically what one has to do once we kind of find ourselves in this layout, right, in the situation that we are not really being provided meaningful health care, which is, let's try to understand what's causing it. Why is your body giving you that signal? It's an important signal. It's a cry for help. And you should not be shutting it off with medication, because you're just treating the symptom, meaning you're just shutting off the pain, but the damage is still ongoing. So if you are willing to join me on this journey that involves quite a bit of work, you're welcome to, and I will record a few of these videos just kind of sharing what I went through and how I was able to help myself and to eliminate my symptoms. And it was very severe symptoms. It was very, very severe pains that I was experiencing, and currently I'm not experiencing any of them, and I'm not on any of the rheumatoid arthritis medication any longer. So I think it's definitely worth looking into. But I will leave you with this thought. I think, again, especially in the state that we find ourselves in, that I just laid out, and I think many are painfully aware of, literally, it behooves us to really take responsibility for our own treatment and really take responsibility for our own health and healing. That will involve kind of taking hard looks at the way that you live, at your lifestyle, at the foods that you eat and you don't, at the amount of water you drink or you don't, whether you exercise or not, whether you meditate or not, and take some of the responsibility for, okay, I have this condition now. How have I contributed to me getting here? And I'm not by any stretch blaming anyone for ending up with a serious health condition. I'm in the same exact boat, that nothing of the sort, no, absolutely not. But it really is meaningful to accept the responsibility of potentially contributing to us being in the situation, and again taking a hard look at what could I be doing to change in my life so that I can lead to my healing and to better health. And I always lived by the motto, always in life take responsibility for everything in your life. Most of the time you will be right. So somehow we have contributed to it, and we do have to say, hey, you can't just continue eating greasy, spicy foods 10 minutes before you go to bed and then just take a pill and feel better. The point is you should not be doing it because it's very not good for your stomach. And again, we live now in society of quick fixes. Okay, I'm just going to pop a pill and then I can do whatever and then nothing is going to happen. You're only shutting off the alarms. You are not really accepting the fact that maybe you should not be doing that. So again, if you would like to join me on this journey, I would love to have you, and hopefully this series of videos will help someone and put them on their way to recovery and feeling better and feeling less of symptoms, or having symptoms go away altogether. It's a bit of work, and again, you're gonna have to take the responsibility, but I think it is very freeing and empowering to do that, because you now find yourself at the helm. You now find yourself as a person that, because you have that responsibility, you are now the person who is in control, and not the person who is a victim and things are just happening to me and I don't know how to do anything about it because I'm not responsible for any of it. Things are just done onto me. When you do take the responsibility, it gives you that power of controlling your own destiny and your own health and your own healing. So I hope I'll see you again, and until the next time, thank you.